How many Mission Impossible movies are there? I don't know at this point, but I've seen them all, and I've spent time binging them all in order before. Tom Cruise is one of my favorite actors. The great thing about Tom Cruise is that even though you recognize him as Tom Cruise on the screen, he's also very good at being the character. Actors like him and Christian Bale, they're very good at being, oh, we know that's Christian Bale, we know that's Christian Bale, but also we know that he has internalized that character. So you go to the movie because it's a Tom Cruise movie, but also you go because it's an Ethan Hunt movie. But Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Will it be the final one? Probably not. Probably not. They gotta keep making these movies forever. They got to. Tom Cruise is still alive. As long as he's around, we can still keep making Mission Impossible movies. As for this Mission Impossible movie, was it as great as all of the rest? I would say kind of. For this one, you kind of just have to skip to the good parts. And at this point, the good parts are Tom Cruise running and Tom Cruise doing the stunts. So there are two main stunts that happen in this movie. One is an underwater one in cold freezing water where he jumps in, swims down to a submarine, and gets what he needs. And it's pretty intense. It is a good scene. It is very riveting. And they've always got the team somewhere else doing something at the same time to ramp up the excitement of what Tom Cruise is doing somewhere else. The scene always keeps going. There's always another problem that happens. There's always something else that happens that grips your attention as you go. Part of me sometimes, when another mishap would happen along the way as he's diving in the submarine, so at one point he knocks something over and closes the door so you can't get through the door. Like, there's always something that goes wrong, and it's supposed to be like a nail-biting moment, like, ooh, something else happened that's bad. But at some points you're just like, oh, come on, really? Because you know that he's going to survive, and you're kind of just waiting for that moment where he will succeed, because this is Mission Impossible, guys. He succeeds. So even though the stunts are cool, there isn't that much of a fear element in the movie because you know that he will succeed. The second stunt is the biplane stunt, where he moves from one plane to the next one, and that was really cool. I mean, it's awesome to watch. The problem is I've seen the clips on YouTube as I'm scrolling, so that kind of broke the excitement for me, unfortunately. It was cool to see on the big screen. My favorite moment of that part was when you get the close-up of Tom Cruise's face blowing in the wind. You know, you can't CGI that crap, man. Like, when you see CGI superheroes flying through the wind, they should have the face that Tom Cruise had flying with that biplane, just like his skin just pulled back. The biplane scene was also similar to the helicopter scene that we had a couple movies ago. The thing that makes the helicopter scene so awesome, though, is because Henry Cavill was there, and he was just a perfect antagonist for that movie. I'm not vibing as much with the antagonist they had for the last two movies. Henry Cavill just really owned that. There was nothing better than this scene right here. Now, as for the other characters in this movie, there were a couple that really did stand out, and they were great additions to the movie. We got the Apple TV stars killing it, Rebecca from Ted Lasso, Milkshake from Severance. Boom, they were perfect in their roles, and they actually did add to the story. Rebecca's whole scene about taking a risk, and Milkshake's whole scene about poking the bear, they were great. They were great additions. The two that I didn't like were these two. I don't remember their names. I know that she was in the last movie, but she didn't really add much to this one, and they just kind of recruited this extra guy as well. I don't know his character. He was just there. He could have not been there. Sorry. It just added runtime to the movie that was unnecessary and took away from the main cast that we love. Benji had some really standout moments. I love how Benji went from just comic relief, especially in Mission Impossible 4. He was just the funny guy to me, the comic relief computer guy. But then something changed. I think it's in number 5 when Benji is asked if he's actually friends with Ethan Hunt, and he has to lie to the lie detector, and at the end you see a little bloop. That scene is awesome, and it really builds Benji's character and turns him from just being a comic relief computer guy to an actual character who's there for his friend. I really, really, really loved one of the scenes near the end where he kind of takes control of the situation, and you really see his skills and character in motion. There's also something really funny about this movie, and that is how many timers there are in this movie. How many do there need to be? I swear, half the lines in the movie were all about how much time they had left. And it's different timers everywhere. We had a 3-hour timer, we had a 10-second timer, we had a 3-minute timer, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So many timers. Half the lines in this movie were about how much time we have left. Different timers. So for this movie, unfortunately, it's not the best Mission Impossible movie. Everything else in between the cool stunts was so forgettable to me. I don't remember the plot other than there's an AI that they have to defeat. And with Mission Impossible movies, you don't have to remember a lot. I feel like other Mission Impossible movies carry themselves throughout. In this one, you're kind of just waiting for the big event to happen. If I were going to recommend the movie, I would say watch it on streaming and skip to the good parts. And just for the record, Rogue Nation is the best Mission Impossible movie. Anyways, guys, if you guys have a favorite Mission Impossible movie, let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Do you think that this new movie stands out among the rest? Or do you think that it's kind of getting old and that you can kind of just watch the stunts on YouTube?